Alright, everyone, this is another episode of which Pokemon are the most aesthetically pleasing, and today we have Generation 3 here. As always, I'm just doing this as I go along, nothing scripted, and these are all subjective, and as you can see from the list here, I've divided them into 4 categories. Cool is self-explanatory, which ones look the most awesome. Cute, which ones are adorable, usually so most of the time, typically with first generation or one form Pokemon. Then we have the cup tier, which are the ones that are uninspired, they're too plain, too normal, no inspiration thrown into it whatsoever, like you're just a bird or you're just a dog, something like that. Then you have the crap tier, which is not necessarily how they play as a character, but just how stupid they look, how ugly they are. They could very well still be decent Pokemon, but yeah, I wouldn't want to play as them based on aesthetics alone. So let's get started. Let's just go down the list here, and forgive me if I pause every so often to try to recall the names of some of these Pokemon. I do have a list in front of me, but that I may refer to periodically. So let's just get started, shall we? Alright, we'll start here with Trico, which is intended to be cute. Then we have Grovyle, which I think is actually pretty cool looking. Then we have Sceptile, which is pretty cool looking also. Then we have Torchic, which is supposed to be cute. Then we have Buskin, which he's only moderately cool. I guess he's kind of supposed to be cute. And then you have Blaziken, which is actually pretty cool looking as well. I'll give him credit for that. Mudkip, definitely just cute. Marshtomp, I don't like the way you look. Actually, you look cute. You're not very cute, but you're intended to be cute, so I'll give you a pass here. Why not? Then Swampert, yeah, you're actually pretty cool. I actually like him of all three of the. He's probably my favorite Gen 3 starter final evolution. I like how he can use Earthquake if I recall correctly. Let's see, and then we have Poochyena, which I don't even think he's cute. I think he's kind of crap looking for a dog. Poochyena, on the other hand, yeah, he's pretty cool. Then we have Zigzagoon, which I actually think looks kind of cute. And then, I might mispronounce this, Linoon. I actually think you're a cup, because you don't look like anything. You actually look kind of like a typical rodent, just kind of more glorified there. Then we have Wurmple, you're a cup. And then you have Spilcoon, I believe this is. You're crap, I wouldn't choose you. And then we have Beautifly, which you're just a butterfly. Same thing for Cascoon and Dustox. Even though Dustox, you don't really look like a typical moth. But, yeah, you're still just kind of a... Actually, you know what? You look ugly. I wouldn't choose you based on appearance alone. Lotad, you're actually kind of cool, just as far as your appearance is. Now, as far as the others are concerned, Lombre and Ludicolo, both of you are crap. I would not choose either of you in any situation. You just look disturbing. And I'm not one to really pin racism on anything. I'm not a person that sees racism and everything, but you just give off. Yeah, take that for what you will. Then next we have C-Dot. C-Dot, I guess you're supposed to be cute. Then we have Nuzleaf. I guess you're okay. You're supposed to be. You're like a blend between cool and cute, slightly more cute than anything. Nothing special. And then Shiftry, you're actually ugly. Even though you're supposed to be cool, you're actually more ugly than cool. Like I said, just because their appearance is crap doesn't necessarily mean they're crap. I just don't like the way they look. Simple as that. Tailo, you're a cup. Then Swellow, I believe this is your name. Yep, you're a cup also. You're just birds, nothing more. Then we have Wingull and Pelipper. Both of you are cups. You're just simply two varieties of birds. You're just Pelipper is just a glorified pelican. Nothing special. Then we have Ralts, which is supposed to be cute. And And then both of the Kirlia and Gardevoir, I actually think both of you look kind of cool, I will admit. Nothing great, but it's there. Surskit, I guess you're supposed to be cute. Masquerade, you know what? I'll actually say you look pretty cool. You're like the buff version of Eakins and Arbok. At least that's the vibe I get from that. Alright, then we have... Who else do we have here? We have Shroomish. Yeah, Shroomish, you're ugly. I wouldn't choose you. Breloom, you're more cute than anything. Alright, then we have Slackoth. Slackoth, you look like crap. Vigoroth, I actually say you're kind of cute. And then Slackoth, yeah, you're just ugly. I wouldn't want to choose you. I could just look at you and say, yeah, this is a character that's slow and strong, has some kind of major drawback. Alright, and then we have... Who else is next? We have Nincada, then Ninjask, and Shedinja. I want to say you're kind of boring. You look like just a typical cricket, or whatever you're supposed to be. Ninjask, you actually look pretty cool. And then even... let's see, even you... Where should I put you? You're kind of cute. You're kind of cool, I suppose. Shedinja, you're going... You're more cute than anything. You're not really cute, but you're more cute than cool, I want to say. Then we have... Whismere. Not even that cute. Just look like a little boring. Then we have Loudred. I wouldn't choose you just looking at you. Now, however, Exploud, yeah, you actually look pretty cool. I'd be intimidated a little bit seeing you there. Makuhita and Hariyama. Makuhita, you look like crap. Just a chubby, you're just like a sumo-esque looking thing. Then, what are you called? I can't think of your name. Hariyama. Actually, you're going the... I think you look pretty cool. I wouldn't use you. I can tell that I wouldn't like using you, but you're there. Azrael, yeah, self-explanatory. Alright, and then next we have Nosepass. Clearly crap. Skitty. Actually, you're ugly. You're not even cute. You're just kind of ugly to me. Now, let's see. Delkitty. What is it? Delcatty. Delcatty, I actually thought you were an Eevee evolution the first time I saw you, but you know what? You look kind of cool. I'll give you that. Alright, and then we have Sableye, which I guess you're supposed to be kind of cool. You barely pass as cool. I wouldn't use you, but I think you're supposed to look cool above cute. So then we have Mawile, which you're ugly, but I think you're intentionally ugly. So you know what? I'll put you at the top of the ugly tier, of the crap tier. I think I'll just do that for you. Give you a little bit of honors there. We have Aron, Lairon, and Aggron. Which one? Yeah, you're supposed to be cute. You just look like the iron. You just look like the metal version of this Rhydon. Just like the metal version of Rhydon. Is all you are. Actually, you know what? I bet this is what you're supposed to be. You know what? I'll say both of you look kind of cool. I'll give that to you. Then we have Meditite and Medicham. Meditite, I don't like the way you look. You simply don't. Medicham, I guess you're supposed to be kind of cute, but not really. Nothing special there. Who else is next? We got Electrike and Manectric. Electrike, I just don't like the way you look. You look like you're half lizard, half leaf. Kind of like a junkier version of the Trico line. That's what I kind of get the vibe from. And Manectric, though, where should I put you? You know what? I'll say you're cool looking, just barely. Then Plusle and Minoon, both of you are cute. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. Both of you are going for the cup here because you're uninspired creations. You're clearly Pikachu ripoffs. It's plain as the nose on your faces, and you have to. But yeah, you're more cucked than anything. You don't get a pass for being cute here. Alright, then we have Volbeat and Lumise. There we go. I'll say both of you are cute. You're not nothing special, but you're better than nothing. Roselia, kinda cute, I guess. Okay, they're kinda cute. Then what else do we have here? We have Gulpin and Swallet. Gulpin, yeah, you're crap. Swallet, you're crap. Either of you look any good. Sorry. Carvana and Sharpedo. Carvana, you actually look kind of cool. I'll say that for an angry fish, you look reasonably decent. Carvana, you just look like a shark with glowing eyes. That's it. Nothing else going for you there. Alright, and then we have Whalmer and Whale Lord. Whalmer, you look like crap. Whaler, you're a pup. You just look like a blue whale. That's all you look like. Nothing special. Alright, next we have on the list, we have Numel and Camerupt. Numel, okay, you're kind of cute, I guess, for a camel. Camerupt, you know what, I'll give you points for looking alright as far as camels are concerned. Torkoal, I actually like the way you look. I already know that you're not a very good Pokemon just by looking at you, but your aesthetics are quite pleasing. Alright, and then we have Spoink and Grumpig. Spoink is supposed to be cute. Yeah, I'll say that. And Grumpig, you know what, you look pretty decent for an angry pig. Not bad. You get bonus points for that. Spinda, you know what, I'll say you're a cup. You're just a bear with different designs. Actually, you know what, I'll upgrade you to cute. How's that? Just to be on the nice side here. We have Trapinch, Vibrava, and Flygon. Trapinch, you're crap looking, and then both of your evolved forms I actually really like. So, bonus points for that. We have Cacnea and Cacturn. Cacnea, you look like crap to me. Cacturn, you look alright. As far as you're kind of cool looking, nothing special, but it's there. Alright, who's next? We have Swablu and Altaria. Swablu, you're cute. Altaria, you're cool. And Zangoose, you're just simply supposed to be a mongoose, a viper. You don't even look that cool for a snake. So you're just simply playing off the ferret mongoose dynamic. Clearly, it's a viper there. Alright, Lunatone and Solrock, both of you were just. You look like you were just both filler Pokemon, so both of you are up easily. Nothing inspiring. It's like, I'm going to draw a picture of a hat, and I'm going to make you a Pokemon, which sadly is not too far off with something. As far as I know, they have like bark, keys, and chandeliers, and yeah, object Pokemon. It's stupid. All those types of Pokemon belong in the up tier, without a doubt. Alright, then we have next, we have Barboach and Whiscash. Barboach, you look ugly. Whiscash, you just look like... actually, you know what? You look like crap. I don't like the way you look either. You look like a less interesting version of Marshtomp. Or Swampert, I should say. Alright, let's see who's next. We have... Corphish and Crawdont. Corphish, you look ugly. Crawdont... Where do you stand? I'll say you look okay. You're ugly, but I think cool ugly. Like, you're not supposed to do that. We have Baltoy and Claydol. Neither of you are cool. I wouldn't pick either of you. You both belong in the lowest tier possible. And then we have Lileep and Cradily. Lileep, I actually think looks cool. The first form evolution actually looks cooler than its later form, which belongs in the crap tier for sure. Not pick you at all. Then Anorith and Armaldo, I think both of you look pretty cool. If I didn't have any, or like a starter Pokemon, I would pick you guys. Alright, then Vivas is intentionally supposed to be crap, so I'll put you at the top, I'll put you higher up there because you're supposed to be crap. Then we have the very interesting Melodic, which do look pretty cool. As far as cute, you're supposed to be beautiful more than cool, but you do look pretty cool as far as that is concerned. And then we have cast form, base form here. Clearly supposed to be cute. Very easy. Let's see what's next. We have MacLeod. You're just a gecko, or chameleon, I should say. Then Shuppet and Banette. Shuppet, you actually look cute. Banette, yeah, you look ugly. I don't like the way you are. Duskull and Dusclops. Neither of you, I wouldn't choose either of you. Just simply on the form there. And this is Tropius. Tropius, you actually look pretty cool. I don't think there's much use for you. I can already tell easily just by looking at you what your weaknesses are, probably, but there. Then we have Chimecho. Yeah, you're just a chime. Very much a cup. Sorry for all you chime lovers out there, but it's just the way it is. Then we have Absol, which kind of looks pretty cool. Wish they would have done more with Absol. He looks like he could have an interesting backstory. We have Why Not? Yeah, very much. You're not even cute, you're just ugly. I already know what you turn into. Snorunt, yeah, you're ugly. Lily, I believe that's how you pronounce it. You know what, I'll say you're actually kinda cool. You're ugly, but cool ugly. Alright, then we have my favorite Pokemon line. Actually, this is one of my favorite Pokemon of the Spheal line. I really love you guys. Spheal, and then we have Celio, which, you know, admittedly you're not all that cute. Actually, you're still kind of cute, and sorry, as much as I really like you as one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, as far as just evolved basic Pokemon. Walrein, you're ugly as sin, but I love you, boy. You're really cool. So, there you go. And then we have Clamperl, which is just simply a clam. Nothing special there. And then Huntail and Gorbis. Yeah, Huntail, you're ugly. Gorbis, you're supposed to be kind of on the cute side, or more than. I think you're probably more cute than cool. Actually, you know what? I think you're more cool than cute. Sorry, take that back. You're kind of cool. Nothing special, but you're there. Then we have Relicanth. Very uninspiring. You're just a knockoff of a real Pokemon. That's it. Then we have Love Disc. Again, you're just a heart-shaped fish. Like a flounder, I guess? I don't know what you're supposed to be. But nothing special. Alright, we're wrapping up. We're getting to the big dogs here. And so we have Bagon, Shelgon, and Salamence. Bagon, you're not even too ugly to be cute. And Shelgon, I don't know what you're supposed to be. You look like a metallic sheep almost. And Salamence, yeah, you're supposed to be cool. Then we have Beldum, Metang, and Metagross. I don't know what you're supposed to be, Bagon. Beldum. And then Metang. Yeah, you know what? You're actually kind of cool. Both of you with your other forms are actually kind of cool. You know what? I'll give all three of you. Consider this probably one of the first here, but all three of your forms are actually kind of cool looking, in my opinion. You're all slow, pretty slow, but hey, a steel psychic Pokemon, not bad. All right, then we have Regirock. Then we have Registeel and Regice. Regirock, Regice, Registeel. Regirock, you look kind of cool. Regice, I don't like the way you look. Registeel, you look cool. I know all three of you are pretty much young Pokemon, but you have various shades of looking interesting. Alright, now we coming down to the final handful here. Latias and Latios. I think you're supposed to be kind of cool. You're kind of cute. Actually, Latias, you look cute. Latios, you look cool. Then, let's see, we have Kyogre, which you look cool. Then we have Groudon. I almost want to say Crouton. You look pretty cool. Rayquaza, you're probably one of my favorites as far as appearances are concerned. Then we have Jirachi, which you're supposed to be cute. And then finally, we have Deoxys, which I actually don't like the way you look, to be honest. Alright, team. Thank you for joining me for this episode of which Pokemon are the most aesthetically pleasing. Let me know which Pokemon you agree with, which ones you completely disagree with, or just anything to get a conversation going. So I want to thank all of you for joining me, and have a great day, night, whatever it is where you are.